All right, guys, we are gonna hit a little leg workout today, a little lower body session. I had some new shoes come in the mail today. These are new shoes for the ultra marathon I've got coming up. It is an 8-hour endurance race. It's gonna be like a 5K loop, so like 3.1, 3.2 mile loop. And I'm just gonna run that as many times as I can in 8 hours. Little brother's going to be running it with me. A little bit of background for you guys. This is typically what I run in. It is a Vivo Barefoot Primus or Primus Trail, probably Primus. There's the tread on the bottom. This is the shoe that I've been running in since middle of last year, I'd say. I've got some other Vivos. I've been wearing Vivos for about 2 or 3 years now, pretty consistently. I've been running in Vivos for, I guess, for probably a year now. Just got some new boots for work a couple of weeks ago. These are from Limbs. I believe this was like the Boulder boot or something. They're a little dirty. This is the waterproof version. There's the tread on the bottom with the logo, so you guys know what to look for. But this is the Limbs boot. So far, I'm liking this boot. A little bit of comparison for you guys. The Limbs are a little thicker soled. They have a little bit more cushion than like any of the Vivo Barefoot shoes. Which that's why I went with the Limbs for the work boots, is because I used to wear some Vivos at work, but you know, when we're putting in 8 hours on, you know, concrete floors or whatnot, the feet do tend to get a little tired of the concrete. So I bought those with a little bit more padding, and you know, so far I've been enjoying those. But with this 8-hour ultra coming up, I don't know, you know, how my feet are going to handle, you know, 8 hours of running and walking. Especially, you know, with the plantar fasciitis that I've been struggling with earlier this year. I'm mostly over that now. But I wanted to get something a little more padding, or a little more padded, but, you know, still had, probably dirty now, still had the wide toe box and zero drop from heel to toe. So these are, you know, completely flat on the bottom. You're not standing on an incline. So that is the reason I bought these. So I'm gonna break them in today on a squat session, and I may honestly start making these shoes my main running shoes if I'm running out here around the house, because I run on gravel roads around here a lot. If I drive somewhere else to run, I can get on some trails, but just going out my door, it's either blacktop or gravel roads. To be honest with you, the gravel roads aren't terrible until we have a good rain, or they go back there and they kind of grade the roads. It pushes up a lot of sharp rocks, and there's been quite a few times that I have stepped on a sharp rock and kind of bruised an area of my foot, and you know, then I have to run kind of gingerly on it for quite some time. So I might make these my main running shoes for the road and the gravel road, and then keep those for, you know, the dirt trails. But if you've made it this far, this is all the talking I'm going to try to do. I'll try to leave the rest of the video to just lifting. So I'll take that back. I got one more thing. The strategy for this ultra marathon. I got a goal of covering 30 miles in these 8 hours on this 5K loop. The biggest challenge of this race is that it is in a wide open field, no shade trees, nothing. And it's getting to be pretty hot this time of year. You know, that we're at the beginning stages of summertime. So it'll probably be like 90 degrees and sunny. So the heat is going to be the biggest problem. And so my running, you know, may suffer from that. And so me and my brother were talking and kind of thought about, you know, like running the lap, walking the lap, running the lap, walking the lap, or, you know, do something like run for 7 minutes, then walk for 3, then run for 7, walk for 3. I think that's a pretty popular like ultra marathon strategy. But I think what I'm going to try to do is just give it a full send and run a full marathon before I start walking. They have an aid station at the start and finish line, so every 3 miles I'll be able to, you know, top off on water and stuff. I'm going to order a running vest this week because in that type of heat, 3 miles is probably a long ways to go with no water. So, you know, every 3 miles I'll probably stop and, you know, top off my water and get a granola bar or something and then go back out. And basically, I want to run a marathon before I stop and start walking laps. That's my goal now for this race, is to run a marathon. The way I'm looking at it is worst case scenario, I'll blow up by mile 10, have to sit down for 30 or 45 minutes. But then, you know, I still have 5.5, 6 hours to get up and keep moving. Or best case scenario, I run a marathon. So I think that'd be pretty cool to just knock two check marks on the to-do list, you know, run a marathon and run an ultra marathon. Because in my head, I won't really run a marathon if I have to stop and, you know, like walk a little ways and then start running again. Just in my head, that wouldn't really count to me as running a marathon. So I'm gonna try to run the first 26 miles all the way through. Yeah, best case scenario, you know, run a marathon, and even if I, you know, collapse at the end of the marathon, well, you know, I'll still have, you know, 2.5, 3 or 4 hours to get up and, you know, keep moving. I'm sure that I could, you know, summon up some more energy in that time to, you know, get out there and run. So that's the goal, is to run a marathon. I'm gonna try to get into this workout. Been up in an attic today, so I've got fiberglass insulation all over my forearms, so I'm a little itchy and burning, but let's get into it. Golly, dude. I've taken this for like 5 sets of 20 before. Whew. Tell you what, I've lost a lot of leg strength. That's definitely noticeable. But to be fair, I've gotten a lot faster on the running than I was last year or 2 years ago. So it's just, you gotta give and take. Can't have it all. But I know that by staying consistent, that hopefully by this time next year, I will be faster, be running more miles per week, and still squatting heavy. Well, hopefully squatting heavier than this. I think I'm gonna throw on 275 real quick, just to make sure I still got it. Whew, geez. I'm taking pretty short rest breaks too. Hot as crap out here. I need to get a haircut before this race because my hair is getting too long, and the longer your hair is, the more heat it's going to hold in. Especially under a hat. All right, 275. It's hot out here, son. "30 minutes a day, son. That's all you gotta give. 30 minutes a day. You can change your life with just a consistent 30 minutes a day." I'm gonna strip it down in one plate. I will say, since I don't hit the heavy weights as much as I used to, and I don't do any more like accessory work focused on building the squats like I used to do a lot of good mornings and used to deadlift some. Man, I haven't deadlifted in probably coming up close to a year now. And since that, I've realized that I've lost a lot of my lower back strength and a lot of my core strength at the heavier weights. Which, for those that don't know, I have suffered from a back injury in the past. I believe I'd popped a disc in my back, on and off with pain for a long time, man. Thankfully this year I haven't had any major setbacks with the back pain, but at these heavier weights, I can feel my back getting tight, like way sooner than what it used to. Like I almost went for a second set of 185, but like I can feel that the rigidity and just the blockiness of my lower back isn't there anymore. And that's just because I've stopped working on it. So probably need to bring the lower back, back into the game strength-wise. Are hurting too. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up to keep this video short as I can. I'm gonna take this for 1 or 2 more sets of 10, and that's my squat workout. Worked up to 275 for a single today. The last couple of weeks I haven't done that. It's just been the rep work. But all right, I'll catch you guys at the next video. Hopefully the race recap. Catch you all next time. Catch you guys on the next one.